Hi, people. How are you doing? And welcome back to yet another episode of Cricfootz. I know we're a bit late. The things have changed a lot, but then the love for sport never goes. So I have Priya, who's a big CSK fan like me over here, and the name itself suggests Shubham, the co-founder of Cricfootz, supporting KKR. So, firstly, a quick notice to all the people who watched us and supported us on Instagram. Thank you for staying patient, and we are sorry for the delay in the videos. There were some personal issues we had to solve, and now we're good to go. So, firstly, how are you doing, Priya?
Yeah, I'm good. I hope you guys are doing good with all this corona things. Now, at present, I'm tucked in at home due to lockdown. Hope things get better.
Yes, and Shubham, how are you doing back in Ireland?
Yeah, I mean, the Indian community in Ireland is not doing good, I would say, because everyone is concerned. Everyone is not really happy, or everyone is in a really different mental state now. Nobody is close to family, but in Ireland, things are a bit better. We have been in lockdown for almost 4 5 months. Things are easing a bit now, but we are very much hoping that things get better in India ASAP, I would say.
Absolutely, I think we're all hoping things to get better and we all hit the ground really soon. So I think it's our time to bring some smiles on people's face, and I think as they call it, India's Tyohar, the
Hmm.
IPL, which is unfortunately suspended due to the COVID-19 situations. But what a half season did we just witness? So are you guys excited to put up your opinions, have some quick banters, and troll the other clubs?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm ready to get bantered. Yes.
So yes, I think firstly, cheers to BCCI and all the associated people for putting up a decent half season. But then yes, there was a bio bubble breach and things got a bit scary. And now the IPL is suspended. But let's have a quick review of the season so far. So we'll start with the team which we all belong to. Basically, that's where we are staying, or we are known as Hyderabadi. So let's start us with the Sunrisers Hyderabad. As Akash Chopra rightly mentioned, the sun has already set. There's no sunrise from here. So, what's your take on the club?
Uh, do I start or?
Yes,
You
yes,
start.
we'll go. We'll go
Cool.
ahead with it.
See, first of all, really surprised with the performance. I have been surprised with the performance of few of the teams this IPL. Sunrisers Hyderabad is surely one of them. I did not expect them to go down this badly.
Right.
I don't think they have such a. I mean, they do not have a team which should be languishing at the bottom of the table. I somewhere feel that there is a disconnect between the management and the players. I think this team needs an overhaul now. We have seen the best of the team already. And with David Warner not playing the last game, which was a controversial decision, I would say, and even his performances overall as a batsman or as a pure captain, I don't think he stepped up to the plate. We all know him as a destructive batsman, but if he's playing Test match in IPL, so it's not gonna go down well with the IPL franchisee overall and also the fans. But looking at the results, I think they started off. I remember KKR defeated them in a close game, and then from winning situations, they were giving the games away, I would say. So that's where I feel that the team really needed some kind of a different dimension, I would say. And also their middle order again is the same old problem. Uh, Old habits die hard, as they say. So I think really not much happening in terms of being an SRH fan. I think they have disappointed a huge fan base. Hyderabad has a good fan base, and with only one or two players performing, especially Rashid, he was great as usual. But otherwise, I have not seen much from them. So yeah, uh, I think the auction coming up is a good thing for them, I would say.
Absolutely agreed. And Priya, what's your take on Sunrisers Hyderabad? I remember we almost have a chat after every game or during the game. But then, what's your
I mean,
overall take on this season?
I love Hyderabad. I mean, I'm a proud Hyderabadi. And then having supported, yes, my priority is always CSK number one, but number two being Hyderabad, I was not very happy with their performance, especially seeing Warner struggle. Uh, we almost he's the equivalent of the team, and he doesn't do well, the team doesn't do well. And the same as Shubham was saying, stupid middle order, and I don't know what the 3D player is actually doing. And they bought Kedar Jadhav. Kedar Jadhav did not click in CSK. I'm sure he's not clicking here also. And they have Jason Holder. He's the only guy. I mean, they can bank on at present. They have to bring him in. And especially the last game, they dropped Warner. And I thought they will bring in Holder instead of Warner. And they brought Nabi. I mean, and he bowled 1 over. Why? There was no sense in that actually. And there is a huge disconnect between the team selection. I think the captain is not involved in the team selection, and the is overall down. So I don't see them picking up from here. But if you see last year, Kings 11 was also in the same ship. They lost to couple of opening games which were close, but then they picked up big time with all 5 or 6 wins in a row towards the end. So maybe SRH can turn it around, but Williamson has to be there. Bairstow was going good. Again, the super over decision where Warner came ahead of Bairstow, and clearly while Williamson was pretty tired then, having played almost 10-15 overs. They should have bought in the opening combination, the regular Bairstow plus Warner. I again don't know why Williamson came out, but then and super over you hit 6 or 7 runs, it is not going to be okay. It's really not going to be okay in IPL.
Absolutely, yes. I think Super Over wasn't the best of the Super Over we have witnessed, and the fine margins of the game were right there. Warner had a short run given, if you remember, in the last ball of the Super Over, and
Yes.
that
Yes.
ultimately cost the game in the end. So these
Yes.
type of rookie mistakes from a player like Warner, we don't expect as such. But I think the overall team display hasn't been the best as well. I know their marquee bowler Bhuvneshwar Kumar got injured. Natarajan, who was their go-to player last season, is injured and left the team. So who do they bang on? Siddharth Kaul, who's I don't think is any more reliable. Sandeep Sharma, he's been taken for a toss by every batsman out there. So there's a heavy dependency on Rashid. So there's too much pressure on Rashid basically to perform, to pick wickets in the middle, and he's also bowling some in the power play. So there's a huge pressure on Rashid. There's no death bowler as such in this team. So I think they've got everything wrong at the moment, and I think it's very good for them that mega auctions is coming next season, and they badly need it. I feel. Quick question to you, Shubham and Priya as well. Big rumors that David Warner is going to be released from the Sunrisers team.
Oh,
So,
I wish
what
he
do
was
you
there.
think? What do you think is his next destination? I've seen so many tweets about David Warner coming to KKR. So many KKR fans want David Warner. So, what's your take on that?
I don't think Ponting will leave him. Ponting knows his worth. It's gonna be, and to be honest, Delhi is a much more better franchisee, I would say, than KKR. I would love him here. I mean, 10,000 IPL, 10,000 T20 runs. How can you not have a player like that? Can you tell me
Yes.
how many players can a team retain next season?
I think they can retain three
See,
players and they have two right to match cards. So that
Okay,
is
three
the
plus two.
yes, three
I
plus two.
so wish they give away Kane Williamson. I am hoping CSK buys Kane Williamson for
Okay.
even 20-30 crores. I want Williamson in CSK.
Okay. And in that three, do they have an international quota,
No,
or
it's
can
nothing
it
like that.
be?
It can be anything.
Yeah. So if I am an SRH backroom staff, I will not give Warner away at all. I mean,
Hmm.
like, he has been a talisman for the club, for the
Correct.
team, for the franchise, captain. won so many games for SRH single-handedly, scored centuries against KKR, remember?
Yeah.
So yeah, one bad season cannot remove him from the setup. I would not take that risk. Uh, Warner Williamson will surely be retained if I am handling the SRH backroom.
As
But
well.
if he's released, I think a great very becomes very interesting for the other clubs. I think they'll just fight for his signature. If he comes to KKR, would be great. But I see him going to the bigger teams like a Mumbai, CSK,
RCB.
or an RCB, yeah, who have the big money. Or if Punjab again removes all his players, have a full budget, maybe Punjab goes for him.
Yeah.
But he has previous ties with Delhi, wanting
Yeah.
the coach there. Maybe Delhi looks possible. Don't know.
As I see, it is either Warner or Lakshman and Co. Either one will only stay at SRH. So I
Mhm.
suspect Lakshman and Co. will stay, so Warner will have to leave.
Mhm.
Absolutely. I think it has been a really harsh decision on Warner as well, because I remember me and Shubham watching SRH matches in Hyderabad, and he was the guy to go to. And I think, if I'm not wrong, he has scored more than 500 runs in every IPL since Sunrisers actually came on. So I think he's the talisman of the team, and maybe a couple of bad games here and there, and you cannot just treat him like this. I think he's a
Yes.
player to be retained. But then, as you said, if at all he's not retained and he's in the auction market, I think RCB is having a big eye on Warner, because having ABD and Maxwell already, and I think they will retain these two. Bringing in Warner almost stabilizes their batting order, and then they can go all in all for the bowlers. So yes, that looks a good deal to me. So I think SRH overall played a very poor game of cricket throughout the season.
Yeah. Another thing which I want to add here is that if you look at the SRH squad, there's no depth in the team.
Hmm.
You just remove these top players. Like Warner not performing itself is a big blow.
Yes.
Bhuvi getting injured, Natarajan getting injured, Manish Pandey playing typical one
ODI
day kind
games.
of, yeah, one day kind of a format, 60 of 40, 60 of, yeah, Besto is a good talent they have, but other than that the middle order really doesn't look great to me. The bowling, remove those guys like Natarajan and Bhuvi. Rashid is the only gem there, and Sandeep Sharma, if the ball is not swinging, is very much a very I mean, he's easy to hit. He'll give you the
Yes.
ball in the slot, and players like Pollard, Russell will kill him bad. Vijay Shankar can surely try Tollywood. I think he's fully set up. Fully, I think the beard and the style is going really good. So yeah, they need an auction. Abhishek Sharma here and there, not great talent.
Samad
Jason
is
Roy,
okay, but
yeah, Samad.
Sulk
inconsistent.
Smart is a good player.
Yeah,
Uh,
but yeah, no, not
no
enough to
experience.
qualify and win the league and all that stuff. So the auction
Absolutely.
is here. They really need to bank on it. I think they need an
I mean,
overhaul.
SRH gave Vijay Shankar so many opportunities this season. He could have
Yeah,
really shined. Had he finished even one good game for them,
yeah,
it would
yeah.
have been set for Shankar. And Khalil Ahmed is pretty good this season.
Hmm.
I mean, relatively. Um,
I think times are bad for SRH, and they would be surely one of the teams who are looking for the mega auctions coming up next year. Quickly moving on to the next team, as Shivam has rightly mentioned, Corbo Lorbo Harbo. Kolkata Knight Riders scrutinized for poor captaincy. Mind you, a World Cup winning captain, one of the one of the best teams on paper, to be honest. A
Yeah.
very good young Indian opener, a hardcore finisher in Russell, but on field, no performance. What's your take, Shiv?
Yeah. Very, very, very disappointing. I expected them to qualify, but and obviously, when you look at the names, I think KKR is becoming the next RCB. I would say very big names on paper, huge reputation, and all this stuff, but not real performances on the field. I think uh, even Lodbo, like Korbo, Lodbo, Harbo is like Even I didn't see the fight. Lodbo means actually fighting for something, but I didn't even see the fight. Firstly, I would like to mention a couple of names in the batting. Owen Morgan, the captain, let us down. Let's be very honest. Very poor from him. You cannot be this consistent and be in the team and taking an international spot, because we have Shakib in the bench, we have Ben Cutting in the bench. First is that. Second is Shubman Gill. Absolutely unimpressed with the way he's batting. I know there's a lot of talent. Uh, Played well last season, but no, this is not how you give a start to a team. Along with him, even Nitish Rana had a dip in confidence. Rahul Tripathi was going good for 1 or 2 games, but otherwise, uh, yeah, we just didn't click as a team. We were very easy to beat. That's what I don't associate KKR to be. Normally, we are not that easy to be. We saw that against Chennai. Like, from getting 5 wickets down, the way Andre Russell pulled it, tried. DK played really well. Pat Cummins. We have the names and we have the talent, but no. I think another team which will really be excited for the auction, because we are gonna be overhauling the team. I think even the backroom stuff has to go. It's not working. Kyle Mills, uh, Brendan McCullum, all these guys have recently retired. They do not have enough experience to lead us. So it needs an overhaul. The owner is good. Venki Mysore is good, but I think we need David Hussey, all these ex-players. This emotion has to go. We need to bring in big names now. So yeah, very, very poor. Very poor.
Absolutely. I think the throughout the season when we had discussions, the lack of entrant from the top order put real pressure on the middle order, which ultimately collapsed in the end. And thus opponents were able to score easily, and bowling didn't click as well. What's your take on the bowling? I know Pat Cummins picked wickets here and there. Varun Chakravarti was good in the power play. Harbhajan Singh bowling just 2 overs in the power play and then having Gatorade on the bench. So I don't
Confused.
understand the decision
Abs-
making, as you really mentioned.
yeah,
I
absolutely
mean,
confused. Yeah. Priya, you can take over.
you have on one side David Warner getting dropped, and on the other
Hmm.
side Shubman Gill getting so many chances. And
Hmm.
I don't know, Owen Morgan, 7 matches has not come to a cumulative score of 3 figures. I mean,
Exactly.
what is the captain doing? And
Hmm.
I think the person who for me showed the most intent in KKR is actually Pat Cummins with
Hmm.
respect to batting. The that game 50 plus, I think 51 or 52 that he had against Chennai, he was spectacular. Even Russell was
Hmm.
doing a good job, but Russell, we know Russell doing it. It's not something new. But Pat Cummins was a revelation in that game. And DK is grounded. DK actually played well. He was overshadowed by the other two. But DK, again, that was only one game. He couldn't see it through. So useless effort, actually. But the top, Rana is the highest run scorer for KKR, 200 odd. But he's again that alternate player. I call him either 0 or 1. He'll be one game he'll play, the next game he'll be 0. Then one game he'll play. The last season he was like that. This season he is better. He's not as bad as Sanju Samson, but this guy is good. Tripathi should open. Tripathi should open, I think. Or you bring up Pat Cummins. With that intent, he can go all out in the opening 6 overs. So Pat Cummins and Narayan, I really don't think Narayan has to. He's such a lazy guy that he can literally he can bowl those 4 overs and you take him off the field. That is the best for the team. Otherwise, he's going to play football and try to stop balls with his leg. I mean, there is no space for such laziness in cricket. And Varun Chakravarti is actually following suit. He's good at bowling, no doubt, but fielding is absolutely bad. Varun Chakravarti he's completely following. I feel Narayan in that sense. Uh,
Yeah.
and there are no other spinners. Actually, Shakib was good. First match he was very good. Second match he was okay. But then I think they have no foreign figure for the top 1, 2, 3.
Hmm.
I believe Sheldon Jackson or someone is there. I'm not sure what he exactly does, but
He
probably they
he
need.
he keeps, yeah. He is actually a keeper, and he has been brought in for replacing and just having a backup for DK. But you're really right. So what I did not understand was proactiveness from the management. When you're seeing Rana and Gill not giving us starts, just drop someone. At least try
Yes,
it for one game. Put Tripathi up top. And for me, if you have Shakib Al Hasan in a squad, you don't drop him for any game, because if not
yes,
batting, he is going to give you bowling. The
yes.
main problem which KKR has is, I hope they have learned from it, is that international captains don't work. You know, Warner is not working. How will Morgan work? You know, so international captain theory will not work. You have to either trust DK or give Gill the
Pat
captaincy.
Cummins. Gill?
Something of that sort. Yeah,
Yes,
just
yes.
try
Cummins,
an
Cummins.
Indian cap. Yeah, again that thing. I
International
know
captain.
I know Cummins performed well, but you always have the compulsion of playing that guy. If Owen Morgan would have not been the captain, I'm sure they would have tried Ben Cutting or Shakib Al Hasan more than Morgan.
Right.
Uh, you're playing Sunil Naran again. He's not a replacement for a Morgan. He's a replacement for Shakib. He's either gonna give you bowling, which I'm sure most fans will agree. Sunil Naran is not gonna give you a match-winning batting innings. So that's where the confusion is. We need to sell everyone. If I want to retain, I'll retain only Gill. Maybe because of his talent, he will come good next season. I am hoping. But other than that, I don't see anyone to be retained. Even Russell can go, I would say. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. I think the way Russell has been utilized
Yeah.
this season has been really surprising to me. A specialist death bowler who's leaking runs except one match. I think
Hmm.
that was a wrong call in the end. And with the bat, I don't think he had a lot of opportunities, and whenever he had, he miserably failed. So I
I
think
think teams
that
have understood what he's trying to do.
exactly.
Russell is not. Yeah, against Chennai he performed really well. You guys must be thinking, okay, he still has it. But I think most teams have figured out what he's trying to do. He struggles against spin for sure. Like
Yes,
against Jadeja in your
exactly.
game, he did not get much of strike. He was hitting the faster bowlers outside the park, which he always does. Even Chahal, he struggled. So uh, Bishnoi, he struggled. So I could see that he is not a great player of spin. Teams have figured that out. And Russell is no longer one of those players where teams are really scared of. I would say Pat Cummins is becoming more impactful now with his batting.
Absolutely, absolutely, yes. So that I think rightly sums up KKR season, who sit seventh on the table right now, and
Hmm.
too much work to be done to get into playoffs right now. To be really honest, I
Yeah.
don't see them getting in anyway. But even though on the biggest miracles happening on the world, even if they have
Hmm.
to get in, they need a big performance. Or unless IPL is shifted to England, suiting Morgan and bowler like Cummins, it's not going to happen. Quickly moving on
And
to the
there
yes,
is a
yes,
small disconnect between, I think, McCallum and Owen Morgan. Owen Morgan is more a calm, composed guy. McCallum is quite aggressive, and I don't think those two, I mean, their sensibilities are matching.
Hmm. Yeah.
could be a
Might be.
possibility.
Yeah.
So quickly moving on to the next team, a team from the Northern Delights, Punjab Kings. Of course, KL Rahul doing a great job with the bat. Undoubtedly, he's their go-to person. But I, if you really ask me, the team which has disappointed me the most this season, I would say Punjab Kings. What's your take, Shubham?
Yeah, disappointing for sure. I watched them against us. I have not followed them. I've not watched all their games, but I saw them playing against KKR in the last couple of games. Yeah, again a team with big names. I would say a lot of promise is expected from Punjab all the time. Uh, the main problem with this team is inconsistency of players, and especially big players. KL Rahul cannot play an anchor innings in all the matches. There's one or two games in which he will try to do that, but otherwise KL Rahul is there for giving Punjab a good start. He's not there to anchor the innings.
Absolutely.
So that is why, that is one thing which I would like to comment on Punjab's situation. And I really expected them to win a few more games than they actually did. The Ravi Bishnoi is a good talent. I think he's a difficult bowler to hit out of the park. Other than that, not really. No one has really stepped up. I think still relying a lot on Chris Gale. I mean, he's almost 40 above. Come on, man. I mean, let the youngsters come in, chip in a bit. They have got a couple of good youngsters, but overall, I don't see them clicking as a unit, and that's what didn't happen for them. Um, but they still have a chance, they still have a
Yes.
chance to qualify if they go on a good run. I think this break has come at a bad time for them. They were playing some good cricket, and then this break happened. So yeah, let's see what Punjab does if the tournament has to resume at the later part of the year.
Absolutely, yes. But some very big surprising decisions from the Punjab team as well. When Nicholas Puran is just scoring duck after duck after duck, and you have world's number one T20 batsman giving
Exactly.
water, being a water boy out there, David Malan, who played just one game in the end. So that I think is a big, big mismanagement, to be honest. What's your take on that, Priya?
Yes, I think David Malan should have been there from game one. And he I think played just the last game, and he was like an ODI player in that game. And I
Hmm.
remember KP commenting and really criticizing Malan and telling he cannot adjust to Indian condition. And he's number one because he's played most of his matches in England and Australia, etc. I disagree. You cannot really judge that guy with one game. He should have played from the beginning. He's, I think, probably facing most of the bowlers for the first time. And I would pick Malan over Gale, or Gale should have been an opener. I think they are not giving enough time. Gale should be utilized in the power play, where he can really hit uh, anything he hits, and you have only two players outside the boundary on the boundary line. So most of it will go for a 4 or a 6. So I feel Rahul should open with Gale, and Mayank should come one down. If Malan is there, Malan should come one down. And Puran should not be there in the team. I think his cumulative score would be less than 50, or probably less than 20. I don't know. So Puran should not be there. I'm sorry. He's a good talent, but he should not be. Bishna is doing good thanks to Kumble. But I have a strong feeling Kumble won't be there next season.
Yeah, two things I would like to tell you, Priya. One is a very good point made by you. If Chris Gale doesn't open, it is a disrespect for him.
Exactly.
We are disrespecting Chris Gale if he's not opening for a team, because 20-25 years we have watched him in West Indies, any club which has played, Chris Gale always opens. Mayank Agarwal or Rahul can decide to come one down because they are defensive players than a Chris Gale. Second thing which I want to defend the Kings 11 management or the Punjab Kings management. With West Indies players, I think every club thinks that they might come good one game. That's what happens with a Russell. Even Russell flops 7 games, KKR will still pick him because of his match winning ability. I think David Malan. I think the Punjab Kings do not think that Malan does have that match winning ability as a Puran. So I think that's why he was not getting dropped. But Malan is a class player. He should have been given at least a couple of chances. I wanted to watch him. I think he was bought at a very decent price.
Very
So
low
we should,
price.
yeah, we should have seen much more of him. But again, since the top order is so congested, like Malan comes one down for England, I think. So
One down for
so
England.
it's very
Right.
it's very difficult for him to get in. The best position for him would be 4, and that's where Puran plays. So yeah, I think that's why, because of his match winning ability, Puran was getting all those games.
That said, Deepak Huda came out well. Actually,
Hmm.
he did he played, I think, almost in out of 7, I think 5 games he has played well.
He was hitting
At
well,
least
yeah.
he was hitting well and he was timing well. So I think he can also be brought up if required.
I think Deepak Huda, no matter which bowler is bowling, thinks that there is going to be Krunal Pandya and that's how he's going to bat. So the way he was hitting in the first game, especially, seemed like that.
Mm.
So I think Punjab has got slightest of the chances to get into the playoff whenever IPL resumes, but they rightly said by Shubham, they need a huge form of run to get into that
Mm.
spot.
And their
Now,
fast
quickly,
bowlers are also not coming up. I mean, Shami was bad, really
yes,
bad.
I think their fast bowling department hasn't done anything. Let it be Giles Richardson, Shami, or Meredith. I think pace is not going to work against a batsman like ABD. You need to bowl some cutters, and bowling 145 kmph to ABD is just going to go out of the boundary line. So that's not going to work out. You need variations in India, especially. So quickly moving on to the next team, a very good team for me, led by a new captain, a very young and dynamic captain in Sanju Samson, Rajasthan Royals. What's your take on Sanju being the captain? Is it the right thing? Should Josh Butler be the captain, or you stick to your thing that international captains are not going to work, and it is a right call to keep Sanju Samson?
Yeah, I would say let him captain. I think, see, yeah, you should learn from other teams too. So I think from KKR, every team can understand, even SRH, that international captains is not a good idea. Okay, so uh, unless he's an all rounder, like Cummins, what Priya said, Cummins as a captain, I would still take it, because if he is not performing with the bat, he can give us some overs and field. And Sanju Samson, I think. I don't think he has leadership quality, because he smiles even when the team is 15 for 4. That's what I've seen. So that's what I would like, a bit of aggression from him. But otherwise, I'm okay. Who else in terms of the Indian talent they have can you make captain? Are there any names coming into your mind? Rahul Tewatia, no. Unadkat, no. I think they have been seasoned players, but Sanju Samson has been a shining light for IPL in terms of Indian talent. So I'm okay with him captaincy, but a bit of aggression is needed when you're playing against Kohli, playing against Dhoni, and all these big guys. You cannot always smile and let things happen. But I think the last match before IPL got suspended was Josh Butler's century. I think I could watch that game.
124, right?
What an innings! And it was against SRH.
Yes.
Really, I was lucky to watch that innings. I mean, he was in some form. Rajasthan, again, a team with a lot of talent. Their all-rounder Chris Morris is doing well,
Yes.
which in the IPL review show, I thought he would not do well. I think I apologize for that. He has been really performing well with both bat and ball. He's become
Yes.
very dependable. And as Suhas mentioned in that video, anyone who leaves RCB does well. So I think that's what is happening.
Absolutely. This one's for Suhas. But one more player who's been doing really good is Riyan Parag. I think he contributes well with the bat, a hard hitter, a good fielder on the boundary line, and a lot of chirpiness in him, doing a little bit of bihu dance and
Selfies. Right.
Selfies,
selfies
yeah.
things, and can ball spin as well. So I think he's a good asset. I hope they will retain him. He's one for the future. But
Hmm.
mention of the team is Sagaria. So the way he took up the ball, I think all the three left armers. This is the only team I think going with three left arm seamers: Unadkat, Mustafizur, and Sagaria. And I think, to be really honest, both three of them have been really good this season. What about you? What do you take on this player?
Chetan Zakaria has been a revelation. He's been really good, and he's got that infectious smile which makes he's so lovable. And otherwise, also he's a very good fielder. He took 2 or 3, I think, brilliant catches on the field.
Hmm.
And Mustafizur surprisingly is doing well. And Unatkat is actually doing well, but I'm so sad he's not getting to play all games due to the balance and combination. But I think he needs to play all games. They can drop probably a Mustafizur. I mean, it's not 1:1, but Unadkat has to be there in all games. Samson is their best out of the worst kind of a captain now, because if you see Indian players, I just wish they had retained Uttappa. It would have been a really good team. I'm sure they must be repenting on why they have not retained Uttappa, because had Uttappan been there, they would have got a good opener along with Butler. And because the other openers, none of them are clicking, be it Manan Vora, I think one guy, and the other guy, Yashasvi
Jaiswal.
Jaiswal. So both of them are not clicking for them. So Uttappa would have been really good, but they have too many wicket keepers in the team, and I am sure they are missing Archer and Stokes. I mean, Stokes not being there in a team is any team's loss. Forget Rajasthan Royals. And but Morris, especially that game where he finished and won it for them, that was really good. But the first game, in spite of Samson 100 odd, they lost, and that was, I think, a sweet revenge for Kings 11, who had a similar encounter the last season with Rajasthan, like that, where Rajasthan won. So I think overall it is a good team, but Samson is again a 0 or 1. He's a binary player. I call this, he's either 0 or 1. He'll either hit 100 or he'll just get out in within 20 or so. So, and this has been his problem for all the IPL seasons, his inconsistency. So he's been lucky he's got captaincy. I'm a big fan of Samson, but he needs to get really consistent. I mean, you cannot be a 0 or 1 player.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yes, agreed. Yes, Shubham.
At least anchor, even if you're not going for the kill. Like I have seen many players who have started this, who come one down and all this. So they anchor the innings. They don't go bang, bang, bang. They try to stabilize the innings and let the other person take over. And they have Shivam Dubey to do that, to do the attacking. So yeah, I think yes. They still have a chance. Rajasthan.
They have a chance.
Yes,
Yeah,
they have a chance.
3 out of 7
Dubey,
is not bad, I would say.
3 out of 7, and Dubey, again an ex-RCB player, is actually doing well. I don't agree with RR dropping Dubey in the last match. Maybe they wanted to just try something out new, but Dubey should be there because he's probably the only guy who's at least hitting 20 odd or 30 odd runs in each match.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think that's how Rajasthan have been faring so far. They have got some chance. They have got fair chance like Punjab, but yet, yes, again they need to stabilize the team, strike that right balance to have any realistic hopes getting into the playoffs. Quickly moving on to the defending champion. Yes, yes.
For RR is where I think the break will be very, very useful, because probably after the break, Stokes and Archer will be available. They will be available.
True, true. Yes, so yes, that can be blessing in disguise for RR. So hoping to see these two entertainers back. Now coming to the five-time champion, the defending champions, Mumbai Indians, who haven't looked at their best so far. Still 5 wins out of 7, if I'm not wrong. 5 or 6 wins out of 7. Four wins out of 7. Not something we've seen Mumbai form like, but yes, we could actually see Mumbai's vulnerability this season. What do you think, Shubham, especially with the middle order?
Yeah, I think most of the wins were given by the opponents to them. They really did not look that convincing this season. But they picked up, especially the win against Chennai. Oh my God, what was that? Like, that came out of the blue. So Mumbai can do that. We all know they can always come up with things like that. But the only thing which I feel that gets this team going is the captain. I think he is very influential on the players. He never tries to even think that the game has lost, because the first few games which they have won were very close games, low scoring, close games, trying to make it very difficult for the opponents to score even a single run. He's very intelligent with the field placing. I think I somehow feel he's a far better captain than Kohli.
Definitely,
I some
any day.
I somehow feel Kohli sometimes gets so clueless. He's shouting on the player, shouting on his bowlers, but Rohit Sharma is not like that. And yeah, because we have seen them champions all the time, I don't want them to win again. But it's a team with a lot of champions out there. Will be very interesting if there are many last seasons in this. Like they can retain 3 again. Uh, is this Pollard's last season with them, or he's still gonna be retained? And all these things will be really, because the auction, uh, like Mumbai has a very settled team. They would not like the auction that much as the other teams, I would say.
Yes.
So I don't know how they are gonna react. Obviously, three players. If I have to pick, if they need to retain Rohit Sharma for sure, I think they'll
Yeah.
pick Hardik Pandya, Bumrah. Yeah. For other players, I think unless they come at a good price, which they can write to match, it's gonna be new team for Mumbai. It's very
I also think they
interesting.
would right to match for Surya Kumar Yadav, the way he's
Yes.
playing, and there's high chances of them retaining Quinton de Kock as well. So
I think
Yeah,
he'll
just
but
go
like
with Bowl.
they have to come at decent prices, because they will have a
yes,
cap
yes,
on their budget. If Surya
absolutely
Kumar
yes,
goes for a very high price, they cannot write to match.
yes, correct.
So
So it's
that
a
will be
very
very
tricky
interesting.
affair.
Yeah.
Also, one observation during the games I watched, uh, the lack of ability to pick wickets in the middle and in the death, especially from the Yorker King Bumrah, has let the team down. We haven't seen Bumrah at his very best this season. We have seen him
Yes.
getting smashed throughout the park. Bolt has not been picking wickets in the power play, which he was doing last season. Maybe the Chennai pitch wasn't helping them. They came to Delhi, won back-to-back games. That was something they wanted. Yes, these are the external factors. But then, uh, what's your take on the whole bowling department as such? Too many changes as well in the bowling.
But Rahul is doing well,
Yes,
surprisingly. And I was
that
so
is.
glad that Mumbai's middle order was not working. I was so happy. And unfortunately, in that one game, they had to come together. I mean, how disappointing it was. And Krunal Pandya has to be sacked. I mean, he's not bowling well. He's not batting well. I mean, I would prefer Ishan Kishan over Krunal Pandya, because you're going to give him only 1 over, if at all, and batting. And why is Krunal Pandya coming at number 4? He should be after Pollard, or at least after Hardik. And I don't really know why he's coming at number 4. I don't think he's a number 4 player. Hardik has to come above Krunal, and Decock has not clicked, not like he was last season, thankfully. But on the other end, Rohit Sharma, though he gets out within 6-7 overs, he does the job. He hits a fast 30-40 and gets out. So Rohit Sharma is actually the highest scorer for Mumbai, and he's doing really well, especially captaincy. Man, his decisions are so good. And there was one, I think, I don't remember the match. One match where the last over had to be given to someone else, not a
Hmm.
Bumrah or a Bolt, uh, and still they could win that match. I exactly don't remember who he gave it to, but it was not a Bumrah or a Bolt. And see, always the bowling clicks for them. Someone clicks, like the SRH match, SRH versus Mumbai match in Chennai. It was a runaway match for SRH. They just had to bat it out and then win it. But then neither their batting was good, but their bowling came out so well. So Mumbai is such a settled team that if their batting goes bad, also they have the bowling department to win it for them. I mean,
Yeah.
there is no other team probably which is as sorted and as balanced as Mumbai.
Hmm.
Middle order, there are certain gaps opening up. I hope all the teams cash in on that and somehow defeat Mumbai.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, but after a very long time, we have seen some fluctuations in the Mumbai lineup, which is good to see as other fans. But I still see them getting into the top 4 without any
Definitely.
doubt.
Yeah.
And if the pitch is going to be in their favor, top 2 isn't up for grabs as well for Mumbai. So, not a surprise for me there.
Imagining Bumrah in windy conditions in London. Let's see.
That is going to be hell for the batsman, man.
Yes. And bowl too.
And bowled too with the new ball, so that is going to be tough.
No, but yeah. Yeah.
So quickly, let's move on to the most talked team, the most entertaining team. Let it be on field or let it be with the YouTube channel run by the great Mr. Nags. So let's quickly move on to the Royal Challengers Bangalore. I think finally we could see a good balance in the team. There is good batting, good bowling, horrible fielding, yes, as usual.
Yes.
But then this team looks like a team which can win a tournament, right, Shubham?
Absolutely, very impressed. I think I've followed more of RCB than KKR this season. Really impressed. Great talent. RCB's drawbacks or RCB's failure to qualify for top four or winning titles have always been their bowling, but their bowling looks really tight. Very happy for Siraj. What a bowler!
Oh, yes.
He's giving it his everything, um, and that's what Kohli wants. I think he always needs a player like that. Um, he's keeping Sani out for good, and even the other players. I would say uh, the players, especially Maxwell. I have never expected. I never expected Maxwell to be consistent, and even he is performing consistently. Like he has been the main man for them for a few of the games. Um, but even ABD Villiers, we all know. I don't have to speak about him. Legend, still contributing, still the main man for them. But overall, I think this is a good team. I think this is a very good chance for them to go ahead and do some severe damage. You can expect upsets from this team. Harshal Patel tailed off at the end, but what a performance from him too. Like I think he still has the purple cap, uh, bowling Yorkers at will. Again, we don't remember that because at the end he has got really hammered. That's fresh in the memory, but in the previous matches he has bowled really well. A great signing. I think he was bought
Yes,
this
yes.
time. He has
Yes, he
played
was in
for
Delhi.
him
From Delhi.
earlier. Yeah.
Yes.
Very shrewd signing. He's turning out to be. Jameson, good bowler.
Wow.
I think what a signing he's proving out to be. I just love fast bowlers, man. I mean that height, he's looking everyone as though they are from a they are from a different story. So very good team. The bowling clicking for them. No Ashish Nair as their bowling coach. Things looking really good.
I mean,
Absolutely, yes.
Jameson is really good. Mm, I mean, he was bought for 14 or 15 crores, and I was really, I mean, worried for him because he's a kid who's just coming to India and he has never bowled here. And suddenly he's really good. He's performing well, and he's actually a very good all rounder, though he's not got many chances to bat. But I think couple of games he batted well. He was at least getting
Mm,
to time the ball. And Padikkal has been good. In
mm,
fact, Rajat Patidar also was good, but he got out in I think couple of occasions. And Maxwell has been really good. I mean, I
yeah.
was just praying for Maxwell because I'm a big Maxwell fan, and
Mm,
last couple of seasons he was not good, and Maxwell has been good thanks to ABD. Because I think Maxwell knows that if he gets out, also there is someone to follow up and do the finishing job. So that is where I think he's got that freedom to go and hit it out. I mean, and Kohli is okay, regular. Sometimes he hits, sometimes he does not. But otherwise, I think Maxwell and ABD are doing the job in terms of. Chahal has not been great this season. I think hardly 4 or 5 wickets overall. But Harshal Patel is though expensive, very expensive, but he's good.
Absolutely agreed. I think rightly mentioned, Jameson had a huge price tag pressure on him coming to the subcontinents for the first time, and we could see he was struggling under the sun. I think in Mumbai against Chennai Super King in the afternoon game, he was about to
yeah.
collapse after
Yes.
picking the catch. So we could see the struggle he had been through. But I think rightly
Mm,
mentioned by Shubham, he's bowling well. He's bowling. He's just not a fast bowler who's going to pitch it and expect a bounce. He's bowling those cutters. He's bowling those slower ones, the wide Yorkers. So I think he has been a very good and shrewd signing for them. But overall, the team looks set. They're already in the top four contingent. They're third in the table, and I think they will finish inside the playoffs category. But post that, what will happen is what we need to see once the IPL resumes.
Actually forgot Siraj. He's been bowling. He's been in the best form of his life. Siraj is bowling
Yeah.
really well.
Yeah. And you can see that the commentators are also seeing his effect on this team. I did not think that Siraj will lead the RCB pace attack, but he's doing
Absolutely.
that. And if Kohli can step up his batting, I think they should really have a shot at the title. There's no
Yes.
reason why RCB should not think that they can be winners this time, because there are not many seasons in which their bowling looked so settled. When all your bowlers are bowling well, you're able to contain teams. So why not? Just go for it. Kohli has been poor
Captaincy
compared
wise,
to
there were some
compared to the
pretty
other
bad
batsmen.
decisions.
He's dropping catches
Yes.
too. Like, what is happening?
Yes.
Dropping
So
and captaincy wise also, I feel there were some decisions which were pretty bad. And I think Maxwell can be given a couple of overs here and there. They should use Maxwell. There were some pitches where it was really turning, and Chahal was not able to get wickets. So you can just uh, chip in Maxwell.
I want to ask one question to you both. Do you think Kohli suppose a bowler is getting hit, do you
Hmm.
think Kohli is a captain who can provide good solutions
I don't
like a
feel so.
Dhoni does or a
No,
Sharma
no, no,
does?
no, no,
I
no,
don't
No,
no,
think
right?
no.
so.
Yeah, I think
I
he
mean,
gets clueless.
from the outside environment, we can say no. I don't know what exactly happens inside, but looking at his body language, the postures, as you clearly mentioned, he looks clueless
Hmm.
and he absorbs pressure really well. But
Yeah,
you can see pressure on his face when bowlers are getting hammered,
yeah,
especially when Jadeja just finished Harshal Patel in the final over. We
yeah,
were just saying what Kohli was doing. He was just doing this and
yeah,
nothing else because he had no solution for it. Though
yeah.
he knows Jadeja very very well. They have played under 19 together. They have been together
Exactly.
for a long time. He knows
Right.
what Jadeja's weakness is, but there's no solution. So that's
Yeah,
a very good question from you. I don't see him as a solution person, but
yeah.
yes, he's the
he
captain and
he
he has
he
to.
will give you the responsibility and you have to deliver. If you don't deliver, that's your headache. He's not going to support you that much. But from a Dhoni from outside, if I am a bowler and who is bowling under Dhoni's captaincy, if I'm hit for a good ball, he'll still applaud. He'll
Yeah.
still clap for me, because he knows
And
that I've got hit at a good ball. Like Cheher and all these guys, when they get hit, he still appreciates them. So yeah, that's
And
what.
another thing is with Kohli, like if you see last season, that is UAE season, Sundar was bowling so well, especially in the power play. And how many matches has he bowled this time in power play? One. And that too, I
Hmm.
think only one over. When you know this guy is going to bowl good in power play, he's if not a wicket, at least he's going to be economical. Why don't you bring him up front? At least
Hmm.
an over, or if it goes good, another over in power play. Sundar was so good last time in power play, and not once he has utilized Sundar that way. And I don't think he gets even the full quota of his bowling
Yeah,
in each match, and neither he bats. So he's
yeah,
become the Vijay Shankar.
I think RCB in this 14th season had the liberty first time to give 7 to 8 bowling options. I've never seen them using so many bowlers. So I think that's what Kohli is doing, rotating a lot of bowlers and just sticking to some bowlers to finish their 4 over quota. So that's how the things look. But on a whole, RCB looks like a team to beat, and they are in a very good contention. They are at very good contention to win the trophy. Quickly
Yes.
moving on to my team, the team with so many doubters before the season, lot of pundits, lot of commentators, lot of experts saying CSK won't finish inside the playoffs. They'll finish
hmm,
last. Gautam Kabir giving his special mentions and so many things happening. But yet again, we all know what Chennai's metal is, striking, and I don't see a team better in shape and balance than Chennai. What do you
Yes.
do? You agree? Yeah,
Absolutely. I'm not telling this because I'm a CSK fanatic, but I'm telling this because I mean I've mentioned this in the previous video also. They are and probably will always be mediocre on paper, but it is their spirit and the whole unity which makes them outperform. And Moeen Ali, what a signing he has been! My God, I mean,
I'll give that to
yes,
Suhasini.
oh yeah, right. So I mean, we were all debating on having Karan up top, and then Moeen Ali will give the finishing touch. But that is where Dhoni and Fleming are. They just have a different kind of thinking. Man, Moeen Ali one down has been really good, and actually Gaikwad and Faf themselves playing so well. You don't really need to touch that. Moeen Ali, and then no one would have thought of dropping Raina from 2 to, I mean, 3 to 4, but I think gutsy calls is what makes CSK always shine out. And bowling has been at least better. Shardul has to be dropped. Please, please, someone tell him to be tell him to sit out the next match because he's been really bad. I mean, very poor bowling. Chahal again. I think they have a pact. I feel Deepak Chahar and Shardul Thakur have a pact that either of one will only be bowling well in one season. So last season it was Shardul. This season it is Deepak Chahar. And Migidi is on and off. He's okay, but Chahar has been really good. Deepak Chahar has been good. Spin is, as usual, very good. Jadeja has been bowling well. Moeen Ali is underutilized. I have a feeling he has to be given more overs, especially I think in the match with Mumbai where he bowled 1 over, 12th or 13th over, and he gave only 4 or 5 runs. He should have been given another over.
He gave 1 run
Uh,
and 1 wicket.
1 run and 1 wicket, right? So he should have been given another over. I'm sure Dhoni has a better logic, far better than what we think. So we really don't know his thought process, but I feel. And the catch that we missed. I mean, who would believe Faf will drop a sitter? Had he just caught that catch, we would have won. But yeah, CSK, they should have been top of the table. But Delhi, having played one game more than us, is now at the top. So yeah, over to you people.
A very quick question to Shubham. You've been mentioning throughout the session that anchoring an innings is very important. Who else is better in doing this job than Faf du Plessis?
I think KL Rahul comes to mind. But yeah, again, if I see, I don't like Chennai as a team. Let's be really honest. It's nothing to do with the players. It's just that when you support a team, you need some rivals. Chennai is number one rival. Chennai and Mumbai is just two teams I cannot stand. But this season, I did not expect them to do well. I will be in the, I don't know who all, which which experts or which commentators expected them not to be in the title hunt, but I didn't feel so. Very correctly pointed by Priya because of the on paper names. There have been a lot of players in that team which have not really performed at the international level that many times, but when it comes to CSE, when they wear this yellow, they look like a different unit altogether. Like even Ambati Raidu doesn't play for India, shines. Suresh Raina, who plays in Ghaziabad Cricket Club, shines. Then Gaikwad, Rituraj Gaikwad, very impressed by him. I think temperament-wise, superb. Faf du Plessis failed in his couple of games at the beginning, but after that, what a shining light he has been. Like he has been really good. You don't feel the absence of Shane Watson or a big figure at the top. Faf du Plessis is perfect. I think he's the perfect player to play under Dhoni. Similar kind of personalities. And Moeen Ali, as you mentioned, very good signing. I always liked him. A perfect player to play under Dhoni again. Has a lot of skills. Can be used. Utility player can be shifted at any batting position. Can play anywhere. Sam Curran always a good player. So all your players are taking. All your players are performing and overperforming. I would say. Like Jadeja, have you ever seen him doing all this stuff on the field, batting well, bowling well, even fielding? We all know. So yeah, everything coming together as a team. MS Dhoni is there to guide this team forward. I don't think he's gonna put his performance above anything this time. He's gonna lead this team to maybe another title. Who knows? Because you guys are playing really well.
Yeah.
The best part about this team is that everyone comes to the party when it is required the most. That's the best part. If the whole team is performing badly, there will be one player who will just put his hand up and say, "Okay, this is my night. I'm gonna shine for you guys and take you forward." So that's what is happening. So good luck to CSK. I expect them to win a title again. The way your guys are playing, really looking in form, really looking in sync. Deepak Chahar, the swing bowling which he's doing at the top, brilliant. 4 wickets almost every game. It's
And
absolutely very heartening to
and
see.
Karan at the death. I mean, Karan is bowling
Yeah,
really well.
yeah. Shardul Thakur is the only disappointment. I think he has no plan while bowling. He's just coming and just bowling something which he's won. Always, he's becoming very predictable. Outside of trying to just escape a wide kind of a bowling, but still picking wickets sometimes. So yeah, he needs a bit of consistency. But otherwise, this team looks very hard to beat. I would say not a team to beat, very difficult to beat.
Absolutely. I think Chennai overperformed, as you rightly mentioned. I myself didn't expect this from Chennai, to be really honest. Before the season started, I knew they would be fighting for the fifth or fourth spot, but top two spot was unexpected, and very delighted to see this type of performance, and hoping for them to get into the top two spot and then go ahead and maybe lift the trophy for the fourth time, and
Hmm.
a good send off to the captain as well. I don't want to see him again in yellow, because I think it's time for someone else to step in. He has played enough, he has done enough for Chennai. I think it's time for others to take up responsibilities. So quickly
Hmm.
moving on to the last team, a team heavily dominated by just their openers, Prithvi Shaw and Shikhar Dhawan. But a revolution has come up in this team in Avesh Khan.
Yeah.
Delhi Capitals, we all predicted them to perform really well. They have one of the best squads. But I didn't expect this type of a performance as well. So Shubham,
Yeah.
coming to your point, Prithvi Shaw gets dropped from the test team. Shubman Gill comes in, and then Prithvi Shaw does this in IPL. What level of confidence is this?
I think he's a wounded lion. He has come back really strong in this IPL season. The way he was smashing Mavi, like 6 fours in an over. It, it, I mean, he's a different player now. Confidence wise, he's at the top. I think Ricky Ponting and Mohammad Kaif, like people in the backroom staff, have done really good work, because getting a player up when he's down is really difficult. And also, he has a very good partner in Shikhar Dhawan, who leads by example himself. He's not a player who will just give you a lot of things to work on. He himself bats flamboyantly. So everything taken for them, right from bowling to batting. This team, we all expected them to reach top four. Couple of defeats here and there, but they should lift the title at least this time. I mean, this kind of a team is a dream. So yeah, let's see what happens. This, like, Chennai, Delhi will hate this break, because you lose momentum. You know,
Yes.
uh, all the KKRs and all, they will be very fine with this, that they can regroup and all this. But when you're on a momentum, when you're a winning run, you don't want these big breaks and all that stuff, because you have to come back again, strategize again. The venue of the next half is in the air. It can be Sri Lanka also. Like, there's
Yes.
nothing decided. So um, but a great team. I think this team should win the IPL. If they are not winning, I don't know when they will, because it's a perfect team.
Absolutely, I think it has also overperformed, considering the fact that their on-field captain is not playing the season, Shreyas Iyer, who's injured. Uh, Rishabh Pant's captaincy is a different ball game. I don't think he's the one making every decision out there. There are too many experienced people around him to guide him. I saw Rishabh Pant taking suggestions from Ajinkya Rahane, who's there in the boundary line and not even playing, who's serving water to the player. But Rahane is giving suggestions to Pant from the boundary line in the fine leg. So it is a good combination of team to have. But one player who has really got into everyone's mind is Avesh Khan. He's been bowling brilliantly. I think he's next to Harshal Patel in the purple cap list as well. And
Yes.
I never expected Avesh Khan to be so good. What's say, Priya?
Avesh Khan is good, like Harshal, but he's far better than Harshal Patel in terms of economy. People are not able to hit him, and as such, if he comes after the 15th over, the very first over, I'm seeing he's picking wickets. So he's been really good that way. And the other guys also are chipping in. Ishant Sharma was really good. I mean, maiden. I think he continuously took 2 maidens in the first match that he bowled. He was injured, I think, initially, and Dhawan is in the form of his life. Now I don't know how he was not picked in the last T20. He was not. I mean, he was made to sit out, but I think this is more like a statement that you cannot make me sit out if I am in the team. So that's for KL Rahul to worry. And Shaw is doing really good. Shaw is good. Smith also has been, I mean, far better than what he was in RR. So Smith has been good. He's not played all the matches. Pant is okay, I would say. He's not there. He's not still the quintessential Pant, but he's okay. But Hetmeyer, again, after that, I don't see there is depth. There is, after I think Hetmeyer, there is no one else.
There's Akshar Patel coming in. I think he was injured. I think he was diagnosed with COVID, and then he
Yeah.
came back with a bang as well, picking wickets. And I think Akshar is also a big asset to a team like Ravindra Jadeja. So
Right.
anyone would like to have Akshar Patel in their team who can bat, bowl, and field. So I
What a
think
super over.
he has a brilliant super over to just give 7 runs. It's a fantastic effort. But overall, the team looks set, and they're of course leading the table with having played one extra game. So, considering all the teams have played 7 games, we can take Delhi and Chennai as the top 2 teams in the table so far. So, I'll quickly ask you guys a question. Give me a name who has disappointed you the most. I mean, we have had a long preview chat before IPL with all the fans, and one player who has disappointed you the most, and one player who has just outshined like anything, like unexpectedly. Shubham, I'll go with you first.
Um, the player who has disappointed me the most is Shubman Gill. I think lot was expected from him. He's in the test squad because of his heroics in Australia. Okay, good batting there. And Prithvi Shaw on his T20 batting, I don't think he would have been selected in the test squad. And temperament wise, I think Gill is better. But yeah, in IPL terms, very disappointed. In terms of being impressed, I think Maxwell has impressed me. I cannot take his name out of my mind, especially because of the calmness he's showing. Like Kohli is a big wicket, and when you lose him and he's coming in, he's playing with a straight bat, and he's also hitting reverse sweeps, hitting bowlers outside the park, making them uncomfortable. I think Maxwell has really impressed me for RCB, and I didn't expect RCB to depend on him for stabilizing the innings. We don't expect Maxwell to be the dependable guy, but he has been that. So it is. I am impressed with him.
Great. What's your 2 names for the same question, Priya?
I would say, I mean, Vijay Shankar and Iron Morgan. These two, I mean, Iron Morgan, you expect a lot, and then Vijay Shankar, I mean, irrespective of whether I expect or not, he got a lot of chances this time to actually step up his game and do really good for the team, but he didn't. So I think these two people are disappointments. And impressed, I think Faf, Maxwell, and Shikhar. Of course, bowlers, I would say Avesh Khan over Harshal Patel, but Maxwell and Faf have been really good, really good.
Absolutely, yes. If you ask me the same question, I would also say Owen Morgan because he's a classy player as such. I consider him next to Kane Williamson. He's of that class. But then overall, his captaincy, his batting, his temperament has really disappointed the game as such and myself. But one player I've been really impressed is Mohammad Siraj because we are all well aware of the amount of trolls we used to make or the people used to make of Siraj's bowling. They used to be happy when Siraj used to take the ball in the death overs, but then he has come back with a bang. I think Australia's series really helped him to get back into that shape, and he looks at his prime best now. So I think I'm really impressed with Mohammad Siraj right now.
Yeah,
So
that's a good call. Yeah.
I think we've got our names, we've got our opinions, and some banters out here and there. So the season is unfortunately suspended right now. I hope all the players have reached their places safely, and we hope the IPL is going to come back safe and soon. And we're hoping for the second half of the tournament to be really fun as well. Thank you so much for staying up with us. Hope you guys are liking all the content. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel and whistle for them.
Bye.
Yes, guys.